Hi guys, success here, correcting biblical misconception. Now, this is like like a series video. I've been on a series where I've been talking about the works of the flesh and the fruit of the spirit. In our previous video, I'm done with the works of the flesh and we are on the fruit of the spirit, and this is the last series. So you might want to go through my page so you can scroll through and watch through the video so you can have a better understanding on the works of the flesh and the fruit of the spirit. Now, this is our final series. Now, let's dive in. Now, number 9, which is the last on the list, is self-control. And self-control as a fruit of the spirit simply means self-restraint. Now, self-control as a fruit of the spirit can be further explained or expressed as the ability through God's spirit, that is the Holy Spirit. Now, the ability through God's spirit to govern, to control, to be able to bring under. So the ability through God's spirit to govern your thoughts, your actions, your desires, and your words. That is what we refer to as self-control. As a believer whom the Holy Spirit dwells in, if you lack self-control in anything, if you lack self-control, you are trying to make us understand that the Holy Spirit is not dwelling in you. Because if you look at all the fruit of the Spirit that we have been talking about, and when you look on the works of the flesh that I've talked about in our previous video, you will notice that one thing is very dominant: lack of self-control. In the works of the flesh, you see that what is dominant is lack of self-control. In the fruit of the Spirit, you see what is dominant is what? Presence of self-control. To be able to restrain yourself. And I've come to understand that that's the reason when we talk about the works of the flesh, when we are done explaining, I told you that the Bible also recorded that anything that in nature and character is similar to what is listed in the Bible is also recorded as the works of the flesh. Anything that makes you lose your self-control is against the fruit of the spirit. Anything that is addictive, that when you start doing that thing, it's something that you can no longer mentally, you can no longer bring it under you. It now has power over you. God, like human being, man is the zenith of God's creation in this earth realm. We are the zenith. So anything that makes you lose that your control. When God created man and woman in Genesis 1, He gave us dominion over everything in this earth. So anything that makes you subconsciously or consciously lose your dominion over it is making you go against God's principle. Anything that is practiced by the world, check it. That once you start doing it, it becomes addictive. Masturbation, anything that you can list, like drunkenness. Not drinking is different from drunkenness. I don't know if you understand. There are people that you can drink, but you gauge what you are drinking, you know what you are doing. Then that comes. I don't even understand what people enjoy in getting drunk. No, truly, maybe if you know, I need you to just drop it in the comment section. I really don't understand what people enjoy in getting drunk. Like you take a substance and that makes you lose your consciousness. That you start staggering, start stammering, start stuttering, start doing things that in your normal sense you can't do. I don't find it, forget about Christianity or believing in God. I honestly do not find it enjoyable or fun to do. Anything that makes you anything that makes us, when we talk about the works of the flesh, we talk about drunkenness. Because when you are drunk, you're no longer in control of your senses. You're no longer in control of yourself. So anything that makes you lose your self-control, your self-restraint, your dominion over it, is this sex, money, fame, connection, relationship, beauty, name it. Anything at all that when it comes into your life, it makes you lose your restraint, your control, your dominion over it. You are now going as a believer against the fruit of the spirit. And as a believer whom the Spirit of God, the Holy Spirit dwells in, you must have self-control. I remember that when I was explaining to you self-control, notice that I said the ability through God's spirit, meaning that in your own self you can't do it. That's the reason why sometimes maybe as human beings you might be arguing with somebody, or you might do something, you see a spirit to you telling you leave it. Drop this issue. That is the Spirit of God. Because only you on your own, you'll be like, anything that want to happen, let it happen. Anything that want to happen tomorrow, it should happen today. But you see this thing, we must deal with it. We must dig it today. But you see, when that's the Spirit to you that will be withdrawing, telling you leave, that is was through the ability of God's Spirit. Then you will now leave. People will be like, this person is strong. But you know, it is God's Spirit that is what helping you. So when we talk about self-control, you should be able to do what? Self-restraint through the ability of God's Spirit. Now, if maybe you can go through my page to see the previous video. If any of this is lacking in you, any of the fruit of the Spirit that we have dealt with in our previous video, love, faithfulness, gentleness, goodness, peace, any of these are patience, self-control that I've mentioned in our previous, any of them is lacking in you as a believer, check yourself. The Bible says, examine yourself whether you be strong in faith. So as a Christian or as a believer, one of the things you have to be able to tell yourself in life is to be very truthful. Which of these fruits of the Spirit is lacking in your life? Which of the works of the flesh is still present in your life? You need to take time. Does not mean you are thinking about your life or bad. No, you have to examine your life. Which of the fruit of the Spirit is lacking, or I am not expressing it? Maybe the Spirit of God is putting it in you, but my flesh is restricting it. Then you have to go back to the drawboard in your life. Mention it name by name. You can scroll through the video so you can understand and be able to have their names. Mention them name by name and ask the Holy Spirit, ask God to help you become better. Remember that as you grow in faith, this fruit of the Spirit are supposed to also grow in you. In summary, guys, the fruit of the Spirit is the visible evidence of God's work in a believer's life, which include love towards others, joy in God, peace in every situation, patience with people, kindness in action, goodness in character, faithfulness in commitment with God and people, gentleness in attitude, and self-control over desires. Now, a tip on the iceberg, guys. I want you to understand that in Galatians, this anchor verse is Galatians chapter 5 from verse 22 and 23. Paul calls it the fruit, singular, no S, the fruit of the Spirit. The idea behind it is that these attributes or these qualities or character traits, which is in brackets, the fruit of the Spirit, are supposed to grow together in a person's life as you allow the Holy Spirit transform you. That means love, kindness, gentleness, patience, peace, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, name them. They are to grow together as the Holy Spirit transforms a person with life. Meanwhile, they are meant to grow together, but sometimes in our human nature, we give in because the Holy Spirit cannot force you. The Holy Spirit is only there to do as you as you give the Holy Spirit chance in your life. That's the right word. As you give the Holy Spirit chance in your life. So meanwhile, as humans, you might subconsciously not knowing that you are not allowing the Holy Spirit express itself in certain areas of your life, perhaps your finances, perhaps your sex life, perhaps your relationship life. You might not know. So because of that the fruit of the Spirit will not be very much present there. That is why I told you that you have to go back and think, where is the fruit of the Spirit not present in my life, and the work of the flesh is present. So you can ask the Holy Spirit to help you. Bye, guys.